KTN Business News, brought to you by Standard Chartered Bank.
A very good afternoon to you. Welcome to Business Today. We're just counting, actually it's the day separating today and December. Now, we have a lot of stories to cover today. Of course, looking at what full of activity yesterday was in regards to the ruling touching on the housing levy. We'll look at some of that. But our conversation today will delve into the film industry. Now, how does this industry contribute to the GDP, as it is put? How is the output of this industry, and how will that be captured so that we see how the creative industry is evolving in the country we call Kenya? And I'll be having that discussion with the CEO of Kenya Film Commission, Timothy Owase, who's with us in studio. And actually recently there was a launch of the first film industry satellite account. We'll be asking ourselves, what does this mean for the industry, and how can the creatives and also the economy at large support this film sector? Other than that, also today we have Women in Business, and we'll be looking at the season that we are in, that is the festive season. And this will touch on the gifts. Are you a gift giver? Well, there are people who are creating businesses to cater towards that particular market. We'll be delving further into that right here on Business Today. My name is Nokip Kimboy. Welcome to the show. And without wasting much time, let's start with Matters Finance Act, where salaried Kenyans will continue feeling the pinch of taxation after High Court granted stay orders against its own orders to quash the affordable housing levy until January 10th, 2024. A three-judge bench had earlier termed the housing levy unconstitutional and vague before granting the stay orders. A few hours later, the stay orders follow a request by the government for 45 days to comply with the court's ruling. KTN senior political affairs reporter Daniel Kariuki reports.
After more than 4 months of house levy deductions on salaried employees by Kenya Revenue Authority, the High Court put a hold on any further deductions, terming the housing levy illegal.
Section 76 to 78 of the Finance Act, amending Section 7 of the Roads Board Act, 87, amending Section 28 of the Unclaimed Assets Act, Section 88 and 89, repealing Section 29 of the Statutory Instruments Act, are unconstitutional, null and void. That Section 84 of the Finance Act violates Article 10, 2BC, 27 and 201 of the Constitution and is therefore null and void. That an order is granted prohibiting the respondents from collecting, charging, or otherwise the charge known as the Affordable Housing Act on the basis of the Section 84, and all prayers on the consolidated petition not specifically granted are dismissed, and this being a matter of public interest litigation, each party shall bear its own costs.
Employers have been remitting their 1.5% contribution alongside a similar rate for their employees. It was a short reprieve as the government requested the judges to grant a stay order for 45 days as the government mulls the way forward. The request was granted, pushing the implementation of the ruling to 10th January 2024.
In those 45 days, I urge you to suspend the operation of those particular findings in the judgment and any decree that may flow therefrom, pending the filing of a formal application under Rule 32.2 of the Mutunga Rules, as they are popularly known, and eventually under Rule 5.2b of the Court of Appeal Rules.
We are inclined to grant a stay for a limited period, and we order as follows. An order of stay be and is hereby issued, staying the effect of this judgment, issued today, 28 November 2023, pending the filing of a formal application for conservatory stay and conservatory orders in the Court of Appeal, and these orders of stay shall remain in force until 10th of January 2024.
The judges had ruled that the introduction of the levy was discriminatory since it imposed taxes on salaried Kenyans alone and excluded those working in the informal sector.
Third and fourth respondents.
The judges also found some of the sections in the Finance Act 2023 constitutional. Among these is Section 33 of the VAT Act, which introduced VAT on insurance compensation, as it does not violate Article 40. At the same time, the Director General of the Energy Petroleum Regulatory Authority, IPRA, Daniel Kipto, has been found not guilty of contempt over the increment of fuel prices against a court order that temporarily suspended the Finance Act 2023. In its judgment on Tuesday, High Court Judge Christine Mioli said there was no evidence of Kipto's failure to obey the suspension of the 16% VAT rate on fuel.
This provision did not see the light of day and was not enacted into the Finance Act and is therefore a non-issue.
The National Assembly passed the Finance Act 2023 on 22nd June, and it was later sent by President William Ruto 3 days later. Daniel Kariuki, KTN News, Nairobi.
Now, hours after the High Court declared the housing levy unconstitutional,